May 25th. As you can guess, my date was a complete success. I'm joking. It was a total and utter disaster. First, I turned up looking like a homeless person. Second, I had to explain why I looked like a homeless person. He was surprisingly understanding and reassuring. I don't think he even recognized me when I approached him because I looked so bad. Have a little something to eat. It sounds like you could do with some food. Then you can come home and get some rest, he said as he passed me a menu. We both had a bowl of tomato soup each while we waited for our main meals. Mark had ravioli and I had kids' lasagna since I wasn't too hungry. We didn't discuss much, just college life, and then we'd occasionally smile at one another. Mom was already waiting for me in the car as we stepped outside. I rolled my eyes in front of Mark, but he didn't see. Mark kissed my cheek and wished me well. He waved to my mom before walking away. She seemed to scowl at him in an evil way. I don't know why. Have you been outside waiting for me this whole time? I asked as I opened the passenger door. Maybe. I assumed you'd probably say something embarrassing and need to abort, so I just kept the car running outside just in case, Mom said. I stared at her for a few seconds, blank-faced. Wow, thanks, Mom. If you could say those kind, reassuring words at my wedding, I'd really appreciate it. She took my comment seriously. Just don't marry that guy. I don't like him, she said. Mark was still visible, but he'd become a tiny dot along the path in the distance now. What's wrong with Mark? I asked with glaring eyes. He's not hot enough. I shook my head at her and laughed, but never mind. I've put it behind me. I doubt Mark will ever want to see me again. Since Max's truck was going to take around 3 weeks to fix, my parents gave us a lift to the hospital. I needed to be there when Ethan woke up. I didn't want him to be alone and confused, without a similar face around to explain everything. I set myself in the chair in the corner of the room. Max was getting snacks and drinks from downstairs cafe with my parents. They thought it would be a tad overwhelming for Ethan to wake up with everyone gathered around his bed, so they stayed downstairs. I stared at Ethan for a while, watching his chest rise and fall. Good news. I found you a hallway magazine downstairs. That's the girly gossip one, isn't it? And I got you a bottle of water, Max said as he entered Ethan's room. Thanks. Did they not have any tea, I asked. Oh, blast. I forgot. He quickly placed the 2 bottles of water on the small coffee table with the magazine and rushed back out without another word. I reached over the table to grab the magazine, another huge photo of Eleanor Walden printed on the cover. Inside was such a special interview about her latest movie, Hard Luck, which was being released in the next month or 2. That familiar feeling of jealousy started building up inside of me, until I dominate Britain and then the globe, knocking her off her perch. My big break will come soon. I need it to. I have to fund my extensive taste somehow. I read until the final paragraph of the interview and Max still hadn't returned. I didn't know what could be taking him so long. I folded up my magazine, dropped it on the floor beside me, and then out of nowhere, I heard, "So this is heaven," as I glanced over at Ethan. His eyes were shut, but he had the tiniest smirk on his face. I couldn't help but grin. I knew exactly what he was doing. Oh, shut up. How long have you laid there waiting to say that? I said as I stood pacing from his bedside. Not that long, actually. 3 minutes if we're being precise. Even after all he's been through in the past 72 hours, he still hadn't lost his sense of humor. It's good to see you awake. I've missed you. How do you feel? The question I at least looked forward to him asking. His beautiful brown eyes opened. I've missed them. Oh, I feel fantastic, dear. I can't feel a thing, which is a complete lie. I feel dreadful. I groaned and rested my head on his bed. He placed his hand on top of it, brushing his fingers through my hair and laughed. My eyes welled up as I raised my head. He pushed my cheeks together and sulked. Why did you do it, Ethan? It was the only thing on my mind from the second I found out. Ethan wiped a tear that strolled down my cheek, and I let out a sigh. He said before the door flung open. Max stepped inside with the happiest look on his face, holding 2 cups in his hands. Perfect timing, Max, I thought.